Hacksaw Ridge is a World War II movie. It's Mel Gibson's first in 11 years. It's got Andrew Garfield playing this conscientious objector who wants to be a medic, wants to save people. He's going to work in the war, but he doesn't want to hold a gun, doesn't want to kill anybody. So essentially think Saving Private Ryan if it came out in 2016, starred Spider-Man, and had a Christian moral behind it. And it made for one kick-ass movie. The movie starts off with Andrew Garfield. He's doing stuff with his family. It's a little introduction. Usually I'm like, oh, this is the dumb, boring part at the beginning. Oh, can we just get to the fighting and the killing? But after I let it sink in, I realized why they did it, because a lot of that explains why he is the conscientious objector, why he believes what he is, and I think it very well establishes his character, and it was important. It wasn't just stupid backstory trying to make you feel for his childhood. And he gets into this relationship with his girl, and they're adorable. They're so good together. He's like this dumb, naive idiot, but he's like so selfless and so innocent-hearted. As adorable and cute as it was, I gotta say it was pretty unrealistic, because he's staring at the girl in the nurse office, and she's just like, oh. He's like, oh, he likes me. Whereas in real life, it's more like, oh, and she turns around, you want to like wave to her, and she's like, the f*** are you looking at, loser? And you're like, nothing. Hugo Weaving, too. I haven't seen him in a while, and he is phenomenal in this movie. So at the beginning, he plays like a drunk asshole, and then you kind of see why he's a drunk asshole. I mean, it doesn't make being a drunk asshole okay, but like, he's got a very, very compelling arc with him, because he's a war veteran, and his sons are going off to war, and that's creating conflict. His acting is so good. He does an accent, and he has got all kinds of range of emotion. I think if anybody deserves an Oscar in this movie, it's Hugo Weaving. Though Andrew Garfield would also be a pretty damn good choice, because he does the accent, and at no point did I ever say this is Spider-Man with a southern accent. He's a totally different character. The acting in this movie just all around was so good. I love it when movies take actors who usually suck and makes them good. Vince Vaughn plays a stupid comedy idiot all the time, and initially that is his role because he's the drill sergeant. So you're like, alright, he's gonna be spouting the comedy at these guys. But then when he goes through the battle with them, he really shines as an actor. Sam Worthington too, that dumbass idiot from Avatar, was really good in this movie. The battle scene too, alright, it's got the incredibly high realistic amount of gore that Saving Private Ryan has. So if that's gonna bother you, that's gonna bother you. This is one of them turn-your-stomach, anxiety-attack realistic war movies. It didn't bother me as much as Saving Private Ryan, and I think the reason is just in how it was filmed. Saving Private Ryan felt like a documentary, like somebody actually brought a camera with them and just followed everybody around, so it felt really real. Not that the immersion was less in this movie, it was more filmed so you could appreciate the action and how well the battle was done, and it felt like a movie, but not like Hollywood stylized bullshit. It was still very realistic war with all kinds of good makeup and production. That's a glowing praise on its own. The amount of coordination and timing that has to go into these big scale battle sequences is commendable, and they were extraordinarily well done. It wasn't some brief thing too. The whole back half of the movie is pretty much the battle, and it is very good from a filmmaking aspect. It's also nice to see a war movie do something other than Omaha Beach too, because I feel like we have somewhat of a chance instead of just door opens, we all die. So it's a lot less depressing than just throwing people at the beach and just having them all die instantly. So there are stages to the battle. It is obviously still very overwhelming odds because of the location of it and the Japanese and how they fought. There are more tactics though. It's like, cover me while I get here, take out that gun, do this thing so that we can do this. So it's really nice to see all that play out. So the whole conflict at the beginning of the movie is like Andrew Garfield, he wants to join the military, he wants to serve, he volunteered, he enlisted in World War II, which I guess you could do. I mean, I guess I thought World War II everybody got drafted because, you know, we kind of needed a lot of people. It's kind of a big deal. There are two aspects to this thing. It's like he's steadfastly holding to his beliefs. He's like, I'm not touching a gun, I am not killing. And even other Christians in the movie are telling him that you're taking it too far. It's like, God does not say you cannot touch an M1 Garand. God says you shall not kill. But the reason he took it as far as he did, I totally get. And it's like, I want no part of that at all. But he still volunteered, so he's still helping us. So he is like this incredibly selfless, unusually optimistic person. And it is so cool to see that. I'm gonna sound really stupid now. I say bravery and courage, but the level of like what he goes through to help other people is just so rare, especially among Christians these days. Like his total commitment to not breaking that commandment, to the point where he goes to prison and stuff for it, which is kind of like the whole martyrdom point of the Bible, prosecuted for the sake of Christ. What I don't really like is how the army dealt with it. So the whole point was like, okay, yeah, he doesn't want to kill people, he wants to be a medic, so make him a medic. I don't see what the problem is. So they go through this whole court case until somebody finally throws the Constitution at him. And I'm like, see why that was necessary at all. Just make him a freaking medic. I mean, granted, it's the U.S. Army, so it's a true story, so that all happened, and that's just how it worked back then. But nobody was like, dude, I want to make you medic, but we can't because we have to fulfill this one criteria. It wasn't like that, though. It was all like, you're a coward and you're gonna get us all killed in battle. But he volunteered. So if he had been drafted and he was trying to get out of fighting, that'd be one point. But he volunteered. So I don't. That was my biggest problem with the movies. I don't see how that was such a big problem for everybody. The one thing I do appreciate is how clean the movie is, and I say that because I think the movie. I don't know if Mel Gibson's like a Christian or not, because you know he also did Passion of the Christ. Whatever. I probably should have researched that. Moving on. But like this is a very Christian-friendly movie. There's no sex scene in it. There's no foul language. There's a lot of violence, but it's to portray that whole horrific nature of war, to be realistic, and to show the situation they're in very well. Now, I don't personally have a problem with violence. You know me, I love my Tarantino. I was liking this movie because it deals with this realistic. First of all, it's a good movie, and second of all, because it's dealing with this good Christian moral. Because I got a bunch of Christian Bible study friends, so I'm like, good, they'll be able to watch this. And it looks like they are about to ruin it with a sex scene. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Then Ryan can't watch it. But they didn't. I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was very helpful. And so, if you're an atheist and you want to watch the movie and you're afraid Christianity will get thrown in your face, I don't think it's thrown in your face, but understand it is a central component of the movie that you cannot decouple from it. That's the whole point. It is this guy and his beliefs, and him carrying those beliefs through war. Especially near the end, there are some really good moments when he's like, God, what do you want me to do? And then something happens, and he's like, you got it, and then he runs into, like, that was so badass, dude. Though unrealistic. I'm telling you, I deal with God on a daily basis. He doesn't answer like that. It's usually more like, hey, God, what do you want me to do with my life? You got it. But you know, I'm sure atheists are gonna find a way to tear the movie apart and be like, God, it just takes this Christian guy, just makes him out to be the most perfect person ever. Ugh, so unrealistic. Ugh. He even has a Bible in the movie. Ugh. I can't believe people have the right to take that out and read it in public. It's disgusting. Ugh. Christians! Oh! I'm offended. Hacksaw Ridge was a very, very good movie, and I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.